Hey, welcome back to
Two Cooks,
a teacher,
and a Monty.
Alright, everyone. So for our audio-only listeners, go down the line with.
Oh, Chris, nice to meet you.
Ace.
I'm Steve,
And I'm Monty.
and you welcome back to Two Cooks, One Sober. So to start the show, of course, we gotta do our shots.
Woo!
Cheers,
Alright.
everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Ace.
everyone at home.
Steve.
Steve,
You know.
Yep. There, Chris. Yep. All right.
Woo.
So
Shots always hit harder on this show.
they do, yes.
Because you never know what you're going to have.
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery.
It's all
It's always a mystery shot.
Courtesy of Ace's Kitchen. All right. So the topics for today. Topics today we're talking about are a little different. Our first car
Woo!
and the importance of a second income. You guys want to start with the first car? Like that's a funner thing to start off with.
Yeah. If y'all don't mind me starting out on this, I
By all
love my
means,
first
sir.
car.
By all means.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and start off by saying, I feel like the majority of people's first cars who didn't grow up with a silver spoon, rust buckets. You know, rust buckets got you from point A to point B, but
Yep.
you ended up loving those cars, right? So I had a '97 Acura CL Coupe, rusty silver, and just every time it started up, like the belt just squealed away. But you know, it got me from point A to point B for about 5.5 years.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
100%.
Not bad at all.
First thing I ever got done to it, man, before I got any of like the engine work done, made sure it rode properly and I was safe in it, was a sound system.
Well, yeah, I hear you rolling, right?
How old were you?
I got it when I was 16.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's a good age to get a car.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It rode up until about I was 21-ish. 21-ish, yeah. And then it finally got totaled in an accident, and that was a wrap. I had nicknamed the thing Car Kelly because it always had a leak. So my car's nickname was Car Kelly. Always had an oil leak, and the way I came up with it, I was leaving a food line one day, and I walk out into the parking lot, see like a puddle of oil like right under my car, and it was like running out, and just a lady stepped in, and I was like, oh man, Car Kelly laid it on a woman, bro.
That's so fucked.
All right, what about you, Ace? First
See,
car story.
Alright, my first car is nothing as crazy or luxurious as anybody else's story here. Because I didn't get my first actual car until I was damn near 22 years old. I was in the military, so like when I was in there, I didn't have to have my own car. I had people that drove me around, or I drove their cars around, whatever. So my first car was a Dodge Durango, 2000. Yeah, it was a really nice car. My mom gave it to me, and I drove the shit out of it until that shit. Until that son of a bitch like literally was falling apart. I tried to sell it, and they wouldn't even give me $100 for my car. We're like,
oh, dude, that's another thing. When I finally got rid of my car, like my first car, I just had to pretty much sell it for scrap. I had to pay someone to come get it because I just couldn't drop it off and someone give me money for it. No, I had to have someone come and tow it away just to get it off of my property. I was like, ah, man, this is rough.
Jesus.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's it.
It's always fun to get the scrap value for your car that got you so reliably to point A to point B for so many years.
Yeah, reliably.
Yes. Reliably. Air quotes.
Yeah, there you go. Air quotes.
So like that meme saying, did you die?
But you died.
No, I didn't die.
It's not about the quality of the driving, it's the quality of the car that you didn't die in.
Y'all ever get airtime in your first cars, accidentally or non-accidentally?
No, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Not even my first car. Like I said, I was in the military, I drove other people's cars
Yeah.
around. And like one of my buddies was stationed overseas, so I had his car for like 6 months, and
Nice.
I would fucking try that bitch like so reckless because the back roads were fucking crazy out
Yes,
there.
sir.
Like in the middle of Tennessee, and like
Nice,
I
man.
totally
All up in the
custom aired.
mountains.
Yes, I totally custom aired.
Did you have them Dukes of Hazzard horns on it too?
I wish. Yeah, I should.
And
I don't think the boys out there would have liked me too much.
Nah, probably not.
Yikes, the boys out there, yikes. Speaking of not having to drive around a lot, pretty much Monty over there had the Navy do it for him.
I still don't have a car. I still begin riding around.
Yes, sir.
True.
Uber
I mean,
everywhere.
hell.
Yeah,
having a
sure,
car's
if it
expensive
works.
bitch, too, yeah.
Exactly.
Save a lot of money that way.
Exactly. Now, it doesn't mean at some point I'm not going to get a car, but for the time being, I can just Uber everywhere I need to go. So,
Economical solution.
exactly. Modern day problem require modern day solutions.
Exactly.
Steve,
This is
I
the first
want to
car.
hear it. I want to hear it.
My first car was a '98 Ford Contour. It was powder blue.
Man. You don't have to say anymore, bro. I know.
No,
that
keep
was
going, keep going.
I got it from my sister, who gave it to me for. Well, she wanted to give it to me for free, but because DMV doesn't allow that,
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay.
The
and
dollar or whatever.
They didn't even allow $1 at that point. It was like
Really?
people have caught on to it. No, like we tried it, and they're like, "Nah, you can't do $1 anymore. You have to like have an actual amount." So we just wrote like
$1 is an actual amount.
No.
What a jerk off.
I know, right? So we said $500. Really, I just took it up our hands, and the government just never knew. And it's been statute of limitations, so they can't file shit. And that car,
I love that. I love that.
statute of limitations, gotta love that. So that car was a reliable little thing. It drove all the way from Tucson to our corner of Virginia.
Wow.
And then back and forth between our little section of town to the capital, to JMU, to all around Virginia. That thing had some miles on it, but it only had like 128,000 when it got sold. And I sold it because I was tired of fixing all the numerous problems. The driver's side window wouldn't roll up and down, so instead of actually paying $100 to get it fixed, I had my brother who was like, I can fix it for like 45 cents. I'm like, how can you fix it for 45 cents? It's just a wire that's fucked. Let me just get a new wire on it.
Because 45 cents is a value.
Exactly. Right? Like $150 versus 45 cents. You know what? Take a crack at it. This man took the panel off my door, and that panel stayed off the door for about a year and a half.
Yeah, mind you, his brother never finishes anything.
He has started many projects and finished about 4.
We all have that.
That's
like,
that's a
one
generous
family
number
As
too.
long as I'm
Yeah.
It might be like half of one.
Yeah.
And yeah, eventually I was able to get the panel back on after him being like, all right, fine, I'm not gonna fix it. Like, all right, got it fixed, got the panel back on, and the window never rolled up properly ever since then. It just, you had to like, when it was rolling up, you had to put your hand and shift it back a little bit, and then it would go in the corner.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
That's some real bullshit, right? But I saved $150.
So question, guys, question. For the ones that did have a first vehicle, obviously. What was the straw that broke the camel's back for y'all, where you're just like, I'm not putting any more money into this vehicle, like, this is a wrap for it, like, I just have to get rid of it, and, like, kind of look forward to a new car, because I remember it very vividly.
What was your minute?
So I was coming down towards the downtown tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was the last time I've ever really driven Car Kelly. And so it was right before the tunnel, thankfully. Everything just shut off on it, right?
Yeah.
While I'm going 65 down the interstate. Everything just shut down. I had to coast it over to the side. Luckily, it was pretty late at night. And ended up getting it towed back to my house. I looked at it the next day, and like, I had already had the transmission rebuilt on it, you know, and when I first got it, it sat for like a couple years before I bought it. And so everything on it was dry rotted. It was a trouble car from like day one, but I think that was the time. I was like, you know, we've been through a lot together. I'm just gonna wrap it up here and try to see what I can do with you. About you? Either or.
Well, what did it for me when I sold the frog?
You call it the frog.
Well, it actually appeared in Top Gear.
Okay.
Not that exact car, but like that make and model appeared in Top Gear, and they're like, it looks like a frog. So my buddies who are in the show like, calling your car the frog now. I'm like, I don't want to call it the frog. It was called the frog. For like 5 years too. Yeah, it was a fun nickname for the car. What convinced me that like, I had to sell this thing, get rid of it, was my age, because I had had this thing since I was like 16, and I was like 22, 23, and I was like, that's long enough.
It's run its course.
It's its course. Plus, the engine was kind of like constantly overheating. The left hand or the driver's side blinker didn't work. It wasn't a fuse or a bulb. It was like the wiring issue with the car, and I had to pay someone special to get it fixed. So I was like, that's $500. The car was worth probably like $8. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. And I was like, yeah, I just gotta sell this thing. So I sold it to, I sold this guy who actually used to own a '98 Ford Contour. Like, the second he told me that, I was like, he's buying his car. It doesn't fucking matter what's wrong with it. Got a new alignment, got some new brakes. He's buying it. Fresh battery, and he did. Got it for $1,100, and he yeah, tell me about it. Right? The trick was, I said that he came out with a counter offer, and I said nothing, and he was like, all right, 1,100. After like a 30-second pause.
Yeah,
no one likes silence. No one likes silence.
Yeah.
He bought it for his niece-in-law, who was 16, named Precious, and it gets better. They asked about how safe it was. Like, I've never got in an accident. It's like, cool, 'cause she has 2 kids. And I'm like, what? Precious has 2 kids at 16? How's this? Okay, well, it's a very safe car. The child lock's already installed, and I got it. And it came with some free spare parts, fuses and bulbs and whatnot, and brakes when I thought I needed them, but didn't need them. So I was like, you save yourself about $80 to $90 there. And he's like, that's great. Oh, and the trunk didn't close all the way either. The hydraulic on the trunk busted. And instead of spending another $100 getting it fixed, I was like, I'm gonna put a stick in there.
Oh,
I kept a stick in the trunk of this car, and I told this guy flat out everything that's wrong with it. And he was like, that doesn't matter, I know a guy. And I was like, even the trunk doesn't stay up. And he's like, what? I got out the stick, and I was like, it fitted perfectly too. I just pulled it out of my front yard one day, and it was like Excalibur, meant to be. It just fit, like the crystal slipper or the glass slipper. It just fit perfectly in there, and it propped it up, and it didn't ever fall on you unless someone hit the stick when you were in there, like your jackass brother would do every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, and the glove box handle snapped off one day. Yeah.
And he still did it for 1,100.
And I was like,
right, bro.
there are these 2 sharp metal prongs that poke out, and I was like, you have to put your fingers on those metal prongs and push in, and then you can pull it out. And he's trying to do it, and he's like, this is cutting my fingers. I'm like, I did it. I was like, it's the only way it'll work. And he still bought the car. And I was like, okay, dude, whatever.
That's so wild to me.
It gets even crazier. So about...
She calls you back a week later.
No, not even that. A year later. Not even a year later. Not even a year later, I get a call from the next county over court system saying that my car was illegally parked in the yard for about 5 months. And I'm like, whoa, this isn't my car. I've had a proof of purchase. I had them sign papers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're like, what do you mean? It's not your car. It's like, no, they just never put it in their name and shit.
Yeah.
Precious now got to put it in her name. So I'm like, I have a proof of sale. Do I have to worry about this? Because this isn't my car anymore. And the guy's like, I wouldn't worry about this if I were you. Because I had to call up some other guy to make sure I wasn't actually going to get any trouble, any fines, and any bullshit or come back on me. I was like, I have the names of people I sold this car to. You should have go back to them, and I gave them the names because I ain't gonna fucking have this thing come back on me.
Yeah, of course.
And the guy was like, I wouldn't worry about this if I was you. And then he hung up the phone, and I was like, oh,
cool.
I think
Okay, no worries. Hey.
And I haven't had anyone since. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So hopefully.
Oh, I thought it was more to the story, bro.
No.
I was like,
that's
shit.
the end of it. Yeah.
So the midget clown showed up in a tow truck, and that's when shit got real. No, that was the end of the story. Before the midget cars.
The midget cars started rolling down the highway.
No,
it
it
was
was,
the midget cars.
if they are in the story, they're in a
Ready to
separate
tell us
part of the
about your
story.
Durango?
Yes, let's hear about this. Was it crazier?
Shit, I don't think that might be. Alright, so when I first got this car, I was like really excited. It's my actually first owned car, right? And like not even the first week, I would say like 3 days later, I'm driving down one of our main boulevards and it just shuts off on me. Yeah, like literally. When you said that shit, I was thinking, yo, this motherfucker.
Watch my speedometer go down to 0. I'm like,
it literally just shuts off like middle of the interstate, and I'm like, or the boulevard, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I try to turn it back on. It takes a few seconds, and it does. It works. Whatever. I get to work. I come back home. The shit does the exact same fucking thing. So I take it to the shop. They fix it, or it takes like, I just got this car. It takes them a week and a half to fix the fucking problem. So I get the car back, whatever. Same fucking problem. Or not same problem, very similar. It shuts off, but I guess for a different fucking reason. I take it in, and they're like, oh, yeah, that wasn't the problem last time. This is the new problem. I'm like, bro, you just had my shit fucking, it was 2 weeks. I was pissed. All right, that ended up getting fixed or whatever. I would say like I had the car for 3 years. I really ain't had no problems since, like other than like changing tires, like new brakes, type shit, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it shuts out again, and it's like a transfer case. Like I went to change the transmission. Like it was too much money to put into this damn car. I was like, it's the end of your life at this point. And I just got rid of it, and I just ran the fuck out of it. Like.
Yeah.
Didn't you spill like a half gallon of pancake batter in the backseat?
Also, at one point, literally like 2.5 gallons of pancake batter was all over my seats, and I couldn't get it out. There was nobody I could pay to fix that shit.
That should have just been a hot enough day.
Yeah, it was like middle of summertime.
Yeah,
it was like middle of fucking summer, bro. Like. It was the worst.
I got the pancake seats in the whip.
You literally just put covers over the fucking
I got the
seats.
syrup covers in the whip.
Old towel or something.
So, question for y'all. What car did y'all upgrade to after your first cars? Hopefully upgrade to.
You want to go first, sir? Or you want
Oh, yeah, no, sure. I'm still driving it right now. Ended up getting a 2013 Toyota Highlander.
Nice.
Called the Dad Mobile because I feel like a dad when I drive it.
Nice.
You do look like a dad.
Yeah, no, that
I
thing
can totally
is
see
great. I love driving a larger vehicle than a car, like a sedan. Oh, or like a SUV. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, you own the road basically.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, 100%. I remember when I drove a coupe. You kind of get used to kind of getting flung off the road sometimes.
Yeah, you're more agile. You kind of like.
Yeah, no, you try to be.
Try to be, yeah. Doesn't work out that way sometimes. Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
Me, I upgraded to a 2004 Honda Civic 5-speed, so it was a stick shift, which is cool because I actually didn't learn how to drive stick until I got this car.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the dealership trying to buy this thing, and then the guy was like, "Start it up," and I didn't know you had to push the clutch in to start it. And I was just like going after it, and he was like, "You don't know how to drive stick, dude." I was like, "I'm gonna learn."
I'm gonna learn coming off
like,
a lot.
He just kind of like did one of these numbers. I was like, "Oh my god, you're gonna blow this clutch out in a week."
I'm gonna learn coming off this lot.
Yeah, my brother and my dad were there at the purchase, and they were like driving around. Like it drives smooth and shit. And I did learn how to drive stick, and it's nice. Yeah, a little better. Been taking care of it. There's no wood to knock on. Fuck, that's gonna break tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm getting mauled over here.
Hey man, you're the one giving your love away.
If y'all don't remember, this is Tank.
Yeah, that's Tank.
Yeah, we didn't
Introduce Tank.
introduce him or anything.
Tank introduce himself this time around.
He's here.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ace? What was your
So
upgrade car?
my upgrade car. I mean, if you want to say it, I didn't get a car for like 4 months after I got rid of that. The Durango, I literally bought like an $800 bike and was riding bikes to work and like everywhere for fucking like 4 months, 4 or 5 months or something, just to save us some more money so I can get the car that I am having now, which is a 2015 Honda Elantra, which it does the job. Like it has all the stuff I need in there to enjoy my life. Yeah, it's a lot smaller, but it gets the job done.
Now, does anyone here have any reminisce or miss their old cars?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, no, same. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I remember like going from my Contour to my Civic. I missed the seat in the Contour. It felt more like a fat man. So you can really like sit in the thing. You like feel more comfortable versus the Civic. You're more like compact and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's one thing I missed.
Yeah.
Just the fat man seats this thing had.
See, the Durango was just huge, bro. I could like do like 0 to 60 so fucking quick in that bitch, and like just swerve. It was a monster. And
You know
I
what, guys?
It fit like 30 people in the fucking car.
I totally missed a car on the lineup of cars that I've owned and driven in my life.
What'd you miss?
After the 97 Acura, I drove a 2007 Toyota Prius, boys. 6'4" man inside a Toyota Prius. You could never tell me anything, bro. I didn't let anyone talk trash about the Prius, not for a second. Gas mileage.
I'm sure, yeah, it was great, yeah. what was the mileage on that bad boy? Like 450?
It was a 2007, and I still have it. It has 260,000 miles on it.
Jesus
and
Christ.
it still gets 35 miles to the gallon.
35?
35. Back in its heyday, it would get like 45, you know.
Not bad. Not
like
bad
to
at
rush
all.
it, but man, I still drive that around like from point A to point B just to like keep it like running properly. But yeah, totally forgot about the Prius. I think I just kind of shoved it to the back of my mind.
As you
Is
should.
there a reason for that?
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Dude, it was a target for deer. I got hit by like a deer in that thing about 3 times. On the third one, I just stopped punching out the dents. I was like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it.
Let their brother unseen. I have killed so many of them. I've slain.
No, they all walk away
They-
perfectly fine.
they
My
know what
Prius
they
is
know.
the
You know
one
what they know
getting
what
hurt.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They're like
They're
squirrels.
like,
Run out,
hold.
sit there and wait for you.
Hold. Nah.
I just get bullied on the roads. Wildlife and other drivers.
Like,
Oh, this
fuck
man's
this guy.
driving a Prius? Shit, get his ass.
We're gonna fuck him up.
Get his ass.
Yeah, so, you know,
Get rich.
going to an
Get
SUV
rich.
after that was a pretty nice upgrade.
Yeah. So what car would you guys get? Like, realistic car, not like they're
Yeah, dream car or anything like that.
not like a supercar. But what would the next step be for you guys?
Yeah, like
That's a good question,
it's
honestly.
See, you said no
Hey.
dream car, so that kind of just
No, like
No,
no
not even a dream
Lamborghinis,
car,
no
like,
Ferraris,
just
no
something I would
Mercedes.
get.
But like a
Or
daily
maybe
It's
Right.
driver.
like, if you went to another tax bracket up.
Yeah.
Or like another daily driver.
Yeah.
Next step up for you. I don't know if I want to stick with SUVs or if I want to go back down to like a sedan or a coupe. But I've always had a thing for Audis, whether it be like their sports models
are
or their
nice, yeah.
luxury ones. You know, I always thought they were just beautiful. Like an AA or a Q8 for like an SUV would be incredible. Just watching like the videos and seeing the inside of those vehicles, just
Oh,
the
yeah.
comfort. Oh,
My
man.
brother had one for a couple of years. They are nice machines. When they break, they're expensive as fuck to
Mhm.
fix though in the States.
That's my problem with those. You want a really good like just vehicle to drive around. Toyotas are always incredible.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
the
for sure.
trucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want. A
Yeah.
Toyota truck.
I
Just
wouldn't
like a
mind
work
going
truck,
up to
bro.
like a Pathfinder. You know,
Shit,
instead
I might
of
be able to
like,
help you out. That there's one
yeah.
right down the street from where I live at.
Yeah,
It's
those
been in
are
the parking
big.
lot for like probably 4 months now. It's not
Really?
bad.
Yeah, I just want a work truck.
It's nice little like fog gray.
Yeah.
It's only like a 5-inch or 5
It's
foot
something I
bed.
can work on and shit.
You could
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
on this thing, yeah. Paint job is smooth and clean on it, no skips, no nothing like that.
That's that Japanese.
It's a
car
5-speed
make, man.
though, which is
Lasts
fine,
forever.
but you don't know how to
It's not
stick.
time tank.
It's not
It
time
is
tank.
not time for that.
But I got a bone. And
Y'all
if
didn't
he-
say that when he was over here mauling me.
Hey, yo, like you,
It's not time for
you,
that. Tank, it's not time for
you
that.
literally told him to come over here.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that. He
you
came
did.
over and I started showing him attention.
Yeah.
Was that my fault?
And that is your fault.
It's not my
Just
fault.
give
I
me your
can't ignore,
love.
dog.
It's like a kid. You know how if you ignore their pain, they don't feel that shit. But when you give them attention,
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, a kid falls if you just look the other way.
oh my god, are you okay? Just don't pay attention.
Yep.
5 seconds later,
Yep.
Perfectly
Daddy,
fine.
Daddy, I got hit by a meteorite. Oh, that's great sport.
That's great sport.
Walk it off.
Oh, kid, you got a little schmutz on your face. But yeah, no, that's probably what I would like to upgrade to, like another SUV preferably, but like an Audi or another Toyota, just a little bit bigger, like the New Year Pathfinders are
Okay.
really nice. Or Lexus.
Yeah, I'd say I would go Lexus personally.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see that. I could see Steve in a Lexus.
yeah. Well, it's a luxury version of a Honda.
I know Toyota actually.
Toyota, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah, so their parts are relatively cheap, and you can kind of work on them a little bit by yourself.
Yeah,
Basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Plus,
Yeah.
they're kind of like the little bit slightly older cars, like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because they're a little harder to break into, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I think that's the common conception. Newer cars are actually easier because they're more like computers.
because you got the key fobs. You
Yeah,
know, you
key
can just
fobs.
download it onto the dummy key fob.
Yeah, you can hack those shits really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's-
yeah, no, I see what you're saying about those.
Yeah.
It's just a worry about security.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, then you see some of like the higher end model cars, and they're just like near impossible to break into unless you have like the original key fob.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, those are crazy. But
Have you seen people actually like? I'm not sure the videos are real, but people actually able to hack Teslas.
yeah, I've seen
Like
those.
when they first came out, like within the year they came out, people were like using smart like tablets basically, like hacking them.
There was actually a video that was done I watched on YouTube about people who are able to hack like the computer systems inside newer model cars.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of prep work that goes into it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it's
pay people to
yeah.
like actually
Try and
break
break 'em.
it to that shit.
Yeah, But there's a lot of prep work. So I mean, like the common everyday person that would own a Tesla wouldn't have to worry.
Nah.
You know,
Unless like you have enemies in high places, then you kind of fucked.
Yeah, if that was ever a concern of mine,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 100%. But just for like the everyday driver, there's no real worry or concern unless you're in like a, I guess again, position of power where you have to worry about.
And even then, you probably have like a security system or some sort in place, OnStar or some other alternative, like security guards and shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that would be a nice little upgrade. Audi, man. Audi.
Audis are nice, yeah.
I'm still on it. Like, again, and it kind of goes into my dream car. Like an Audi R8 Spider, oh, dream car. So having it in the same brand and still wanting to kind of upgrade to an Audi, just get me in line. Have the vision clear.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about upgrading, let's talk about these second jobs or second incomes.
Ooh,
Very important.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great
People
point.
can't really survive with one income jobs these days. Gotta have something extra there to help you get through the month.
So, regarding that, I think it's all become really apparent, especially with coronavirus and quarantine coming down. We see the fragility of a lot of our jobs.
Yeah.
You know, how easy it is for them to kind of come under fire, whether it be due to lockdowns and watching your job not being able to open back up, whether it be to seeing like your income get slashed because, well, one job might not be paying as much, or you might not be able to find as many hours because, you know, your job is cut times. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent that, you know, people need more at-home stability. You know, we need to make sure that our money is where it needs to be. We're being able to pay rent. We're being able to pay our mortgage. You know, we're being able to do this, that, and the third, and still continue living our lives like pre-COVID, pre-quarantine.
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming more and more apparent to, you know, the everyday worker that we kind of need several sources of income in order just to meet our basic daily needs. Which is rough because, you know,
with so many jobs like not out there as much, it's like harder to get that second income.
Yeah,
you gotta go out there and actually grind a lot harder nowadays.
I agree 100% with that, man.
Yeah. Or doing OnlyFans.
We're doing OnlyFans.
Bro,
Shit.
I've been thinking about that.
Hey,
Like not even on some like weird shit. Like I just want to like wear different masks, and you see what mask I'm gonna wear
Hey,
today.
Steve.
Like, you know, pay people like, yo, you just pay me $1 and just to see what the fuck mask I'm wearing today.
Like, you never know. It's a grab bag. You never know what's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve. How many views on the video for us to get those feet pics?
What's on this? Is it
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys?
Well, this video right here.
How many
for this one?
views on this
How
video
many
for you to get
videos?
those feet pics?
Yeah, to get some feet pics.
Oh, wait, just for
Feet
you
pics
guys
for
to
the
see
fans.
them or
Feet-
for
no.
the fans?
No,
Feet
yeah,
pics for the
feet-
fans.
for
I'll
the
say,
fans.
I'll just show them to you if you want.
No,
No,
see,
no,
if
no.
it was us, that'd be one thing, but we're doing this for the fans.
We're doing this for the
fans.
fans.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
doing
for
this
the
for
people.
fans.
This is for
I
the people.
mean, how many views we usually get these days?
It's from 45 to 50.
We get 100.
We get 100
You guys can
views.
double it.
We
Get
get
100
Steve's
views.
feet
Yeah,
pics.
100 views.
100
We
views.
get Steve's feet
We get
pics.
Steve.
Unblurred.
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 Why'd you say
premium.
blur?
Unblurred premium.
Yeah, his
Unblurred
face will not be
premium
in.
pics.
Get the chef's kiss out there. Mwah.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I do respect, you know, the sex profession, you know, the sex trade and all that.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's very-
especially for women who are comfortable enough to put themselves out there like that and
Yeah.
start to
Bro, I
see.
wish I was a fucking chick, bro. Yo, they make it bank right
That's a
now.
big
Like,
deal,
yo, this
yeah.
is dumb.
I respect them pretty hard, especially the ones that kind of put their all into it and make it like its own separate business.
Shit, you don't
with,
even have
like,
to do that. All
marketing.
you gotta say is, I got
and
an
branding.
OnlyFans. I'm like,
I got OnlyFans. Here's a picture of my tits.
yeah, I got a
No.
picture of my tits.
But then you see the ones that
Yeah.
are raking in like over 100K a month, and they're like actually marketing themselves as an object, and I think that's brilliant.
I
Like, it's
literally
genius.
know a chick
Yeah.
It's
that,
genius.
yeah, she does like only bikini shit and like maybe a nip slip here and there.
Yeah.
And this bitch make in less than 3 months over 100,000.
Y'all remember
Yeah,
when
this shit's
the
tough.
bushfires in
Good for her.
Australia happened?
Yeah,
Remember
good
when the
for her.
wildfires in Australia
Oh, and that
happened?
one chick.
And the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
chick on OnlyFans raised like about
This
$3
is
million
like
or
before
something.
Specifically
OnlyFans was
for-
all
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just on her OnlyFans.
And they pulled it. They're like,
And they
no, you
pulled
can't
it.
do that. Like, why not? It's for charity.
Yeah. But man, just to be able to raise that much money within like a less than a month span, That is
It's just
insane.
nuts.
If
bro.
I made that kind of money in that amount of time, you couldn't tell me shit.
Yeah.
Off the cuff. I don't care what you think or who you are. You can't tell me shit.
But coming from a cook standpoint, getting kind of circling back onto like the necessity of secondary income applicable, especially to like people in the service industry.
Yeah.
Like you two are cooks.
Yeah.
You understand that, you know, any point in time, if let's say like we were to go back into lockdown, COVID rates started rising again, and restaurants were to shut down, like the fragility of the jobs and the necessity to find other sources of income. Do you see it more as a necessity to widen your skill sets, or just try to find work in a sect that is less likely to close down?
That's a tough question.
All right, one, I'm on salary. I'm getting paid regardless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, if it were to like, you know, the place to like straight up burn down, or like it was impossible for us to work ever, then I always wanted to be an accountant. I'm just about to start up school, and this summer, like, that's what I wanted. That's end goal, like accountant. And like, cause I can do so much with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can take you a lot of places.
Well, yeah, to think about learning a new skill, it will take time. So
Time, effort.
yeah, so trying to utilize that as like a fallback will be a little realistic. Try and go into a different field with transferable skills is a little easier and be a little faster. Or you can do something that happens very easily in the restaurant industry and just sell drugs. That's a very big, like that.
Wait, hold on
Yeah,
now.
don't do
Service
that.
industry, selling drugs, they're kind of like hand in hand. Let's be honest.
Sad but true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is a problem in a lot
Go
of
to a restaurant today, I guarantee
It's
at
not
least
a
three-
problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I mean,
It's not a
it keeps them
problem.
through the shift. Let's be honest.
we already had these talks
Yeah.
on these shows.
And the fact that you have to resort to selling, like doing such illegal things for income to support like their rent
Their
or
families.
feed their kids is actually pretty fucking disgusting for
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta
I
do,
will
man.
agree with that.
No one here grew up with a fucking trust fund. Like
yeah.
we got bills to pay, we gotta make the money, and
You
if
gotta do what you gotta do to survive in these cold, cruel world.
if it takes a fucking 4-year degree to make money, then you're kind of fucked. You can't even afford student loans. Like
I was very fortunate. I was definitely very fortunate with that. I took the school path fresh out of high school.
true.
And I graduated when I was from VCU in Richmond when I was 20 about to turn 21.
Nice.
And I got out with my Bachelor of Music with a focus in piano performance, and I immediately started teaching in this area for private piano lessons. I'll definitely say it kind of hit me a little bit, probably not as hard as a lot of service industry people when COVID hit. I was also working a service industry job at that time, so I kind of got to see it firsthand, just cutbacks, and like I was very fortunate to be an essential worker during that. Because I didn't have to have
essential worker.
Essential worker.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that entire time I was like concerned about all my friends that did work in the service industry because a lot of restaurants are closing down and people losing their jobs, and I was like really concerned, like, yo, like, are you gonna
That shit was
good?
huge. Like,
that
so
was
many
really
people.
bad.
A lot of small businesses.
But at the same
closed
time,
permanently.
unemployment was too high. Right?
Oh yeah,
Too much
100%.
food.
Yeah, they were making way much.
Oh, they were making
so much more money.
Yeah.
But
a lot of
honestly, you
people
look back
still
on it,
working.
it's gonna hit them hard during taxes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna kill their tax season.
Yeah.
But I was very fortunate. The only big thing that I had to do with my lessons and themselves was switch them over to video lessons.
Oh cool.
And that was a weird thing to kind of adapt to, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and you just kind of learn the new ways, and you kind of adapt with the changing of the paradigm.
And it's not like you had like 20 kids in one room. To
Yeah,
teach.
I was very fortunate with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was a private tutor.
Mhm.
The most I ever do at one time is like maybe 1 or 2 students, and that's their brother and sister. And that's just like to kind of tack on the 2 lessons at the same time, recording a lot of my lessons, and kind of utilizing video call systems. Like Zoom was incredible. Like I remember watching their stock shoot up as soon as
I was so pissed I missed that.
Yeah, right.
That toilet paper, fucking hand sanitizer.
Oh, I got lucky
yeah.
as shit with that.
Oh yeah.
I got lucky as fuck with that because I bought a pack of toilet paper, like big giant, the industrial size pack from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I bought that, that is when all the toilet paper in every single store went out.
Ah.
Damn.
So I had that going all the way through the first lockdown, it lasted me that long, and I was like, oh, I got lucky as fuck with this.
Yeah.
Because nobody could buy it anywhere.
Not bad.
Anywhere. And I was like,
Right on, man.
Yeah, I kind of looked out in a similar way. I got like a lot of toilet paper, and it was just me at the house most of the time.
Yeah, I had no problem the whole time.
Yeah.
first having your own bathroom, too.
Now, granted, there were some times where like I was like, do I want to start a new role or just take a shower right afterwards?
Man, that's rough.
Like it's
That's
noon.
rough.
I should probably shower already. Like I didn't shower 2 days ago. Like come on.
That's a new type of down bad, bro.
Yo, this is when you're stuck at home for like days on end.
Like, who
Oh,
am I gonna
Yeah,
see?
some of these people aren't showering. Like, what do
Yeah.
you need to shower for?
I just
I know,
shower.
You see the same people
I shower
every
for
day.
shower's sake, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I know,
I'm just out here trying to
I
waste
know, I'm
water.
just saying,
I'm just out here
if
trying
I-
to waste
no,
water.
no,
If I were to stay in my house for like 3 days straight, I ain't showering for
I
nobody.
ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I ain't
Hey,
seeing
somebody,
nobody
yeah,
to see
what the
me.
hell?
No one's coming over.
Yeah,
really
that's
bad.
on the third day you lift
I'm
up
not
your arm
going-
and it punches you in the
Yeah,
face.
that's what the third day you gonna take a shower. I mean,
That was a
Hey,
selling
you
point.
take a
I
shower
was
that
like,
third day?
These are so nasty,
Go
bro.
outside, go air yourself out. Man.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, listeners,
Change
I
your
need you to
shirts.
really hear this. Nasty. Nasty.
Look, I don't do that anymore, right? I
I
shower
don't do that
every
anymore.
day.
Listen,
I
Chris.
showered before I came here after work, and I'm gonna shower afterwards too. Yeah. I got new
Sounds like you're
soap.
overcompensating.
Bitch, I brought new soap, man. I'm trying to get clean.
Man.
That's all good. It's all
That's
good.
living rough.
Too deep in the trenches for me.
Yep.
When your own smell vibe checks you real quick. I'm gonna need you to stop you right there.
When you gotta when you're going for a dab, when you go, ooh.
Gross.
Nope.
Trigger warning, everyone. Gagging. Brilliant. But yeah, no. So we talked about OnlyFans, drugs, and what else do y'all see available for you, especially in our area? We don't have to specify on our area, but what do you see available other than other service industry jobs for you?
Military.
Military.
No.
And that's
No.
rough.
That's a big no for me too.
Well, yeah, you two are like, fuck that noise, but like,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
available.
Honestly,
No more.
honestly, for me and Steve, who have never joined, enlisted, or even I have never really thought
I don't
about
ever
joining
want
military.
to. I did ROTC in high school, so I'm like, I'm good on that bullshit. But if worst comes to worst, shit's the fan,
Yeah.
and I really fucking need something.
I know it's
I, mean,
there.
I get that.
I did.
Like,
I did 3 years in ROTC.
Gosh,
If I go into the Navy, I'll rank up. I will go in a little higher rank than if I was just a regular person. So I'll
Yeah,
have
you-
that.
you
Hey,
go by one
hey,
rank.
Steve, Eagle Scout boy, suck it.
Going
See,
as an officer.
yeah, with 3 years of ROTC, that's one.
Wait,
that's
so
one
would I
extra
actually.
rank.
Shit.
Oh,
3
yeah,
years
yeah,
ROTC,
that's
yeah.
one rank.
With
You go-
3 years of ROTC, that's one extra rank, and then if you were an Eagle Scout on top of that, then that's 2. In which case, then
Yeah.
if you go in as V1, you get out as an
But
Eagle.
I also have a college degree too.
I have an
So
associate.
technically, you go to fucking the OCS shit.
Yeah.
You could,
You
yeah.
totally goes, yes.
Or would you Air Force? Oh, Air Force. I'd much rather do Air Force.
See, you might be waiting for a minute.
All the money.
Yeah.
I
You
have,
might
an,
be waiting for a minute.
I have an associate's in engineering. I'm sure they fast track my ass. I haven't
I
scored
don't know.
really well in the ASVAB.
I don't know. When I was
But I don't
going,
know.
like
Yeah.
when I was trying to fucking join or whatever, one of my homeboys, his sister was trying to get in, and she was on the wait list for like a year. I can't remember what she had going on, but it was like a whole year. And by the time I went in, she went in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, no, screw that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You want your check now? No, it's
Yeah,
my
you
money,
it's my-
and
and
I
I
need
need
it
it
now.
When you went to school, you don't want to go enlisted anyway. You want to go into
honestly,
officers.
that point.
Yeah. I mean, again, like Steve said, you see it as an option if shit were to hit the fan and all other sources of income were to be lost or unavailable to me. I definitely see military as an option. Hopefully, it never hits that, just because
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with my profession right now. I've been very fortunate to have students and to have students that were okay with switching over to video learning. I'm again very blessed to have such talented and adaptive students. That's all a teacher could ever hope for or ask for, and be understanding about my schedule and my woes as well. The parents especially, be understanding that I can't be there in person, that I don't feel safe to be there in person,
Sure, yeah.
Um,
And I'm sure they go to you for that reason too.
yeah, 100%. So that was a big boon for me, and I was able to, just work a service industry job and do that and be able to keep up with my income. I was able to tack on more students actually because of video lessons. because it would just costing me less time instead of going out in person and wasting several hours of my day. I don't want to say waste, that's not true.
One of your kids probably watching this like, oh, Mr. Hahn,
I'm
a waste, huh? I'm a waste, Mr. Hahn.
I'm a waste, huh?
You said didn't learn Beethoven fast enough.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, it does circle back. You know, Steve said military.
I mean, I
What about
don't
you,
want
Ace?
to,
I
but
was like, yeah,
it
but
could.
with our area especially, we are
A lot of military.
a lot of
I
military.
hear the morning colors and the evening
Yep.
flags
So sorry.
every morning.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's
No, me too.
worries. It's not your fault. It's,
Right
it's
by a
theirs.
base.
I know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Right by it. Here
I know
every
that
morning,
feeling.
every day.
I remember that feeling.
I hear those sound speakers every
That's not what I
day.
was doing.
The shit goes off and I immediately pop to attention.
Uh-huh.
Well, what about you, Ace? Like, what would you see for yourself in the area, given that, you know, maybe being on
Construction.
salary manager, being
Construction.
Construction. I can
Construction.
tell you,
doing like temp labors, temp
yeah,
work?
just manual labor. Until
It's
I
good
figure out
money.
some
It's
shit.
when
It's
I
good
did
money.
it.
Yeah, it's good, honest money.
When
There's
I
not a
did
lot
it,
of
it was
people wanna do it.
$100 a day, and you worked your ass off, but you felt accomplished at the end of the day, and you felt sore as fuck.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. God damn, I was Flat Flintstone, dude. Like I was
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
pavers.
100%. I remember doing temp work, man, and
Yeah.
just
No man, I was doing pavers. I was literally moving tons, like tons, tons of
Yo, he put Barlow in that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a
It's
bet.
not
We were like, yo, this
like
motherfucker ain't gonna last a week. Yeah, he lasted a week and a half or so.
No, it was longer than that. It was a month.
No, he did a month. He
It was
did
like
a
a
month.
month
Yeah,
and a half,
yeah, he did a
but
month.
still, Boss was kind of a dick, but he didn't
Yeah.
last long for that reason. But yeah, a lot of manual labor.
At first, he was like, "Yo, it's such good money."
It's
That's
good
all we
money.
heard. That's
It's
all we
very
heard.
good
And
money.
at the end, he was like,
You don't hear
"Fuck
how-
that dude."
you don't hear how
Fuck
good
him.
the work.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything about like the work condition or anything like that. You just hear, yeah, it's good money, bud.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's good money. Hey, man, how was your day? It's good money, man.
It's good money.
You hear like the wobble in the voice, just it's good money, man.
So
Just hold your boy for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, even then, I understand like even temp work's starting to be a little bit harder to come by.
Yeah. Grocery stores are hiring pretty easily nowadays.
And you got the in shoppers now, you
Yeah.
know, all those shopping apps where you hire someone to go shop for you.
Yeah,
Hell
like,
yeah.
the grocery store I went to, before quarantine, before COVID, I recognized every face in there. But now it's like every day is a new face.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's also like eerie how many people are out of work and resorting to their grocery store for work.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
And they do have a
That's a
very
lot
high
of
turnover
motherfuckers.
rate.
But thank God for Kroger got from this job stuff. That's a great thing for them to do, just like in those tough times. Like, good for them. Think about it, though. It's a good thing. for them
You
to
might be
offer-
triggering Monty real quick.
Oh, you used to work there?
I used
That
to
was,
work
he
there.
Oh,
was a pre,
shit.
he was a
Oh.
pre-COVID
Depends
Kroger worker.
which one we'll talk offline.
Alright, we'll talk offline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on which
Yeah,
one.
I
one
say,
day
just in
we'll-
case
yeah.
you'll ever want that Kroger
We'll sign
sponsorship,
off.
you don't want that man speaking.
Nah, bro. The turnover rate for that shit was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Every week it'd be somebody new. Like, bro, what the fuck? Who are you? Oh no, I'm the new hire. Wait, what?
Grabbing a Bob.
One thing
Yeah, exactly. What happened to Bob? Like, Bob was my boy. Oh yeah, no, he left. Oh, God damn it, man.
Damn, Bob.
One thing that I just thought of this actually. One thing that you kind of have to be wary of is people accepting terrible working conditions just because of their availability now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a source of income. I feel like a lot more people are going to find these sources of income under terrible working conditions and stick with them because they're terrified of not being able to meet status quo, meet their needs. I think that's something that's going to be looked on pretty harshly over the next couple of years, is people that have been sticking out these conditions during quarantine, during these lockdowns.
You're gonna see infomercials when you
Were you employed during
during such and such time at
You
such
might
and
be.
such business.
You will be entitled to financial
And
compensation.
I start getting the butterflies
Did
in
they
my stomach
ignore
when I see
certain
this.
safety precautions and measures?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you might be entitled to cash now. Call
Gee,
J.G.
Wentworth.
877
877
cash
cash
now.
now.
877 cash now.
877 cash now.
Those commercials always kill me.
Yeah,
They always
100%.
kill me.
But
They
yeah,
have the
no.
same commercials for like 9 years. They just keep running. It's like Jake from State Farm, only they didn't replace any characters in that bitch. They just kept running the same commercials over and over again.
So it's a new day and age, you know, they had to swallow everybody up.
Fair enough.
Ace and Steve, let me ask you all a question real quick.
What's up?
It's a pretty generic question, but regarding your professions, do y'all see yourselves sticking with it 5 years down the line?
Hell no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
But hell no.
What about you, Ace?
Honesty.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
And where do you want to go? Because as times are looking right now, you kind of have to have a route there, or goals to kind of step yourself up to where you need to go or want to go. You know, and that kind of goes in that supplementing
All right.
income, helps you out with those end goals.
we about to make some money off this Dogecoin, right?
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yeah, we about to make
I
some money off
can't
this
wait.
Dogecoin.
Buy
Yeah.
Dogecoin.
Buy
D-O-G-E.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, get on that.
Buy it. And then hold. Don't sell it.
Hold.
Don't
Hold
puss
the
out.
line.
Hold,
Hold the
damn
line.
it.
We're gonna be good down the line, boys.
Hey,
To the moon!
Talk
To the moon.
about 5 years, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have like my own island. And
Yeah.
like,
I was
just
saying,
gonna be
man.
there. And by
I don't even
myself.
have that many shares of Dogecoin. I put in like $5 when it was like 1 cent, 2 cent, or like not like around there.
Yeah.
And like I have like 800 some odd shares now.
It's
I'm
not
not.
bad.
It's not bad, but I just kind of put in money into it as a gag, and watching it rise now to see my capital gain on it, I'm
And you're
like,
like,
oh no.
Yeah, I feel that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if this shit hits like I wanted it to hit, then
Yeah,
I can't
Like,
wait.
that's
or I'm
interesting.
taking the island, or I'm just gonna go fucking backfooted in Europe,
Yeah. So I do see
like
this
for 5 years.
this intro into like Dogecoin, the AME, and you know the GME and the AMC stocks. You know the people have been buying into from like the r/Wall Street Bets. You know the
Yeah.
Reddit page.
Yeah.
And how that's been kind of hitting the fan lately. I do see that as a great intro point for a lot of people to start getting into the stock market and seeing it as a viable option to supplement their income. You know, I think that's a pretty interesting turnaround takeaway from that
This
because
is a beautiful time for a capitalist society. Like the whole situation is
yes.
just such a beautiful representation of capitalism that ordinary average Joe Schmo individuals can band together and beat the system that has been so stacked against them by these rich assholes who have been doing it for so many years, and they get a taste of their own medicine, and they're like, wait a minute.
Shut down the stock trade.
Let's do the one thing we all swore to never do and call for the government to come regulate our shit. Because that's exactly what the fuck happened. And now AMC and fucking GameStop got their shit shut down a little bit. And
See, what the beauty of
Whole
this
thing.
is, like, all right, so Robinhood shut this shit down.
yes, they
And
missed out.
they shut down
Watching
GameStop,
Robinhood
all
trades go
those
down,
sorts
too.
of- Yes, that also happened. But they
Yes.
saw that happen. So
Yeah.
they won't ever do this shit again.
Never.
Yeah, like they will never. We could like we'll have another rise at some point, and
They
it's gonna be
can't
beauty
let
for
that
all of us.
Yep.
I remember there was like an afternoon, like half a day where Robinhood shut down the trade of Dogecoin.
Yeah. Well, they shut down
Everyone
everything.
rioted on them.
They
dude.
shut
Oh.
down everything.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy anything at all, and they were like, "No, you can't buy anything
Yeah.
today." And I was like, "Oh, I see how it is." And then the
You
next,
couldn't even transfer money in.
Yeah.
properly.
like normally when I transfer like $60 in for my account to the Robinhood, it would be like an hour later.
Not
Yeah.
even. Really.
3
Like,
days.
mine
It took
seconds.
3 fucking days.
Yeah,
And
they
I
do
was
like 1 to
"That's
3 like
great."
trading days. I'm like, oh man.
The market would be
Y'all
totally
put-
fucking different.
Different.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
y'all put the fear into these motherfuckers. And that
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I
I'll put
saw
the fear
so
into-
many delete Robinhood things on Facebook and social media. It was insane. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we realized we
We're
weren't
fucking
living
idiots.
up. We weren't living up to the spirit of our name. Let's go back to that and please don't
Yeah,
delete
whatever.
us.
Not about that.
Look at Ace chilling, bro. Look at Ace
Bro,
chilling, bro.
the damage
He's
that
thinking about
can
his
be done.
Dogecoin stock, just like shit, private island.
The damage that can be done when memers have control.
Oh, 100%, man.
Just
Just
the
watching,
damage that can be done.
watching the internet community like kind of
Band
band
together.
together
So
behind
Instead
it.
of
Behind the
fucking
stock
fight
of
each
all
other's-
things.
Yeah.
Not behind a social movement, not behind anything else, behind the stock. And the stock market, bro. Stonks.
But is it really surprising though? I mean, you saw the whole Area 51 thing played out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I just like to call the Dogecoin.
It may not have been as big, but at the same time,
It was
we saw
still
that
pretty
played
big though. A
out.
lot of people did. It was like 20,000 people showed up to that thing though.
Yeah.
Wait, was it 20,000?
It was a lot. Like the
It
media,
was a
like
lot.
toned
A
it
lot
down-
more than-
The
a lot-
media toned it down to like only a couple hundred, but it was like 20,000 people showed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But watching, I don't even like calling the Dogecoin stocks stonks anymore. They're donks. They're donks.
Stop. Stop it.
They're donks.
Stop
Big old
it.
donks, boys.
Stop
Big
it.
old donks.
Stop.
Going for the donks.
Go for the donks.
Why are you
Hashtag
like
donks.
Hashtag donks.
Why are you like this?
Hell, making a thing.
Hashtag bring those dirty donks
Yeah, I want that
up.
shit trending on Twitter, bro.
It's all about the donks.
All about the donks.
Dogecoin going for stonks.
Dogecoin going for the donks.
Donks. Yeah, I'm gonna hash that shit.
So
Y'all think I'm joking?
No, I do it.
yeah, no, that's actually, again, that's a good supplement to your income. Stocks right now.
Oh yeah. Well, back in like March 18th was like the perfect time. Everyone was so good
God.
back then. But
Oh,
we're talking
God.
about here and now.
But it was also very volatile during like March 2020, man.
It was, but it was all down though. Like
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah,
if you
it
look at the
dropped so-
stocks,
yeah, it was so nice, though.
down.
Yeah,
It was
if you actually
nice.
bought
Because
into it.
everything
I
shut
did.
down.
I was in
I
it all
bought
fucking
it.
day that day. I was so lucky.
I wish,
Everything
man.
shut
I
down.
wish I was a little bit more braver when it came to my stock options and my
Yeah.
investment options. That's one thing that's a shame is that you're not really taught a lot about it.
No,
Either
you're not.
if
But
you
you
had-
know certain things that's gonna go up. Like entertainment,
yeah.
it's always
It's
gonna go
gonna,
back up.
Yeah.
it's always gonna have a rise. Yeah.
Entertainment, anything computer related,
Yeah,
that's
most
gonna go
computer
up.
shit.
Yeah, but you think about it, like I feel like if trade options or like learning about trade options and what you should invest in and just talking about investments in the stock market
Like
in
it should be taught
general,
in school for one.
like it should be more
Like, you
emphasized
should learn
in
your
school.
taxes in school.
I was
Yeah.
very fortunate to
Oh, that
have.
would've been
I was
so
very
cool.
fortunate.
That would've
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Hell,
I was-
yeah. Why did nobody learn like the normal shit? in
Or
life?
that there
Yeah.
are free software options, TurboTax options.
Oh,
free
100%.
tax thing.
Yeah, they didn't even teach that.
No, they were like, go to H&R Block or fucking Liberty Tax or any of the big tax companies and they'll fucking do it for you for
I
$100.
literally
That's what
taught
you're lucky.
myself how to do taxes.
That's if you're lucky.
That's if you're lucky, yeah.
And honestly, more schools should teach trade skills. I feel like
Yeah,
I feel
that
like a
was
lot
really
of this.
great.
I feel like a lot of this is what's going on right now is
Yeah.
just the loss of jobs and all that could be easily combated if
You had
these
to
young teenage kids were just taught
how like
trade
welds
skills
or,
and
like,
how
measure-
easy it
where you
is
tape
to
measure and shit.
just do these everyday things that we didn't know that it was going to be expected of us
No.
like in our life.
We were told
No
go
one
to
told us.
college,
Go to college. Get a degree.
Get
Get
a
a good job.
get 150K in
No,
debt.
we were
Yeah.
told by our parents
No,
you
we
can do
weren't-
whatever you want when you're an adult, and then we became adults like we can't do shit.
No, we weren't told about the debt. The debt came after.
Yeah, debt
It was like,
after.
go to school, take out student loans, do your thing, you should be good.
You'll get a
Yeah.
job and you'll pay it off in no time.
Yeah,
And then
pay
next
off
thing
your
you know-
debt. Pay off your debt.
Next thing
this,
you
that,
know,
and
you go
third.
through like 1-2 semesters of school, you're in like freaking like $100,000 worth of debt, and you're like,
What
Trust
can I do
me.
with this degree
what can I
again?
do with this?
Trust
Oh
me.
yeah, you can probably go flip some burgers.
I
at
get it.
McDonald's. Like, wait,
I
what?
get it, man. I
That
get the
bullshit.
debt. I get the debt part 100%. Student loan debt is
It's no joke.
It's
It-
All right,
racing
we're
it.
cutting this show long. Yeah, we got.
You know,
we,
yeah,
we
we are.
literally talking about another subject
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
let's not
Yeah,
cut
save
it
this
too
for
long.
the next time.
Yeah,
all
we'll
right.
have it back on. The second half is
Hey,
feedback portion.
all right.
So this has
Yeah,
been.
man. Two cooks.
A teacher.
And a random Monty. What's up?
All right, thanks y'all for watching.
Thank you so
See y'all
much.
next time.